Hello, everybody. It's Brandon the Unicorn, Brandon the Wonder Colt, whatever. I just wanted to, before I do the reaction to the next episode, I wanted to show you. Well, my episode's actually my reaction from last time is still uploading, as you can see, 57%. But I just wanted to do a little different of a blind reaction. So apparently, there's this Legends of Equestria. Um, so it's coming out on September 10th, which is actually Um, it's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days away. So it's a little less than 2 weeks away, I think. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's next Sunday, every pony. And on the release day that it comes out, I will be actually doing a little bit of a let's play of it. I want to try and do a live stream for all of you guys, for all of my fans of Legend of Equestria, and I want you guys to spread the word that I'll be doing the live stream. Get as many of your friends and as many as your MLP Brony friends to try and come watch my live stream of me playing it. And I would love to meet some of you guys on there. Um, I can give you guys my username. I'll give you guys what server. I'll tell you guys what server I'm on. Um, but that would be awesome to meet some of you guys on there. So, but anyway, I wanted to watch this Legend of Equestria live stream interview. Do like a little blind reaction. I've already watched 4 minutes 37 seconds of it. The lead writer was basically talking about how she's the reason behind like the story writing and stuff, um, and she was talking about like she is the one behind the story writing and all the little tiny little messages and the descriptions and the loading stuff and just like basically for all the quests and stuff, and they can't do anything canon because it's a little too risky. So they can't even give like little Easter eggs to canon stuff, unfortunately, and that's probably why the names of the places are different than the ones in the actual show. Like instead of Ponyville, it's like something else or whatever. But it's looks like the actual places. Um, so she was saying she doesn't want to do anything canon because it's a little too risky. But it would be cool if they could get some Hasbro riders in there. That'd be cool. But anyway, they could put some canon characters eventually, maybe in an update. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna watch her line reaction to this. We're gonna see what is the development team. So we're gonna see what they're up to in this game since it's so close now, and they actually made an announcement. Hey again, every pony. We're all hard at work getting everything ready for September 10th. But while we're working, we've managed to find the time to do a couple of interviews about Legend of Equestria. The first one is a teeny bit old, but what with crunching on the game and some other events, it just kind of slipped through the cracks, so we're getting to it now. Click below to watch a live stream interview with... Okay. More recently, we did an interview with 2 credits, game news, and a review website. The development of the project, our vision for the game in the future, and the upcoming open access release. You can read that. But this is an actual video, so...
Yeah, that's probably more of me going to Justin or Nat or programming team members and saying, "Man, wouldn't it be really great if we like had this cool prospecting feature for mining and you could like gather things with like a radar and it have all this cool stuff?" And Justin's just like, "No, we're not going to do that."
You are insane, and
And
we will not be taking that on.
Aw,
and
sounds
yeah,
fun.
programming tends to have the final say on many things, but
The bummer, that sounds
we
fun.
all meet in the middle in the majority of cases, so it really is a lot of back and forth, especially with writing because it's It's kind of like really unique how we split writing, I feel, on this project, where in other projects, writing and design might be more of a single entity. In our project, they're fairly well separated in order to um, kind of allow volunteer work to go quicker, at least partially in my opinion. It gives more autonomy to those separate pieces and more flexibility to develop them. So yeah, but yeah, we all get along, except when programming lays down the hammer on stuff that's just too complicated.
You're stupid and your ideas are stupid. No.
Hmm.
No, I
Yeah.
Messed up.
no, I get it. I get it. Yeah, you definitely don't want to overcomplicate things, which can just lead to nothing getting done in the long run. So, all right. So that leaves us with the first introduced and last to get to tell us what they do, Perry as lead moderator.
Moderation has nothing to do with game development, but my team is basically in charge of. We are in charge of the server. Anytime we have an open server weekend, it's my team on the front lines, 24/7, the entire time that it's up, watching, making sure everyone's following the rules we have set forth. We also monitor our forum community, and we also monitor our chat box, which is part of one of the platforms that Legends of Equestria offers for our forum and community users.
Right.
So if you, so basically, since the game's not up and everyone still wants to talk to each other, we have a chat box for people to talk. We have the forums that people can post their art, people can their stories, their role plays. They could talk about the game.
Role
They could talk about
plays.
My Little Pony. They could talk about My Little Pony stuff. They could talk about pretty much anything they want within the realms of as long as it follows the forum
Role
rules.
play.
Yeah, that's you pretty much have my job.
Yeah, I have your job on steroids. Because the team that again, all of Legends of Equestria is a volunteer project.
Yeah. So
Um,
Equestria actually is also a completely volunteer run app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, all of my moderators are in different time zones, and like you got me, who is I work a 5 day a week job. I work really odd hours. I'm a second and third shifter, but I still can make time for because I got mods in Eastern Standard. I got mods in the UK. I got mods in Italy. I got mods everywhere. So we kind of all have to work together, but it works really, really well for, like, say, it's 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I need to go to bed. Hey, one of my British moderators just woke up. Hey, can you guys take the reins on this while I go and get some sleep because I have work tomorrow or something like that. So team coercion, cohesion, I don't know.
Cohesion or coordination?
I don't know. It is my day off and I'm tired.
That would be coordination.
Coordination, yes, team coordination. There we go.
That was a lead writer.
It is very key with the moderation department, and it's one of the few non developmental teams where I'm a team lead. I talk with the other team leads, and I do have input on the game. And other members of the moderation department, we have a couple that are in writing. I think one or two are in implementation. We have mods that have been kind of spread out everywhere. We had a couple that were programmers at one point. So, even though we don't have a creative side, we're still very, very important and key to the day-to-day functions of the game.
Yes.
Once it's fully released.
Yeah, no, you're definitely gonna be on the front lines for that. That's pretty much I spend about 40 hours a week on this app doing.
And what I'm probably mostly going to be doing in this game when I do the live stream is I'm going to be finding the MLP characters because there are people that will still roleplay as them, and they will roleplay as them and be them, because you can't do the canon stuff, but that doesn't mean you can't have the canon mains, and they have the canon mains and stuff, so, I'm going to probably be looking for someone role-playing as Starlight. I just hope they put Starlight Glimmer's main in there, because if they don't, then I'm coming after you guys. No, not really. Not really, but still, I hope that they put Starlight Glimmer's main in there, because that would be really good if they did.
Basically that, follow the guidelines, don't post adult content, and stop swearing at each other and yelling.
Probably it's new main.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. I get messages when I'm at work, and it's almost a 24/7 gig. So
Yeah,
you know, because
waking up at 3 a.m. to be like, oh god, not again.
I'm still awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting home at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
so
your version of 3 a.m. whenever you're sleeping, yeah.
that's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Fair enough. All right, guys. So, one quick thing I wanted to do for the people who are currently
7
watching
a.m.
is to just show them something real quick here, which was your Legends of Equestria alpha trailer. I talked to Gal about it. He said he was fine with me showing this, so I'm just going to swap over to that image real quick. And
Okay,
it's a
see
2-minute
this.
long video. Just shows a little bit of the gameplay, a little bit of what the game looks like.
Okay. Alpha
And
trailer.
people can sort of see what it is you are. This one is about 6 or 7 months old now, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Is that right?
Oh,
I think so. Anyways, I will just pop it on here.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's take a look, guys, at the last released trailer of Legends of Equestria.
okay.
And I should probably click play on the actual video and not in my stream window.
See this. Oh, I remember the Pony Creator. I remember it looking like this. Looks awesome. It's gonna look different though, I think. Okay. Nice. There's a Crystal Empire. That's what I'm calling it, by the way. I'm not gonna call it the name in the game. Oh, there's the mine from the Diamond Dog.
How many times have we remade Ponydale?
Canterlot.
We finally got it, though.
It's Canterlot.
I do believe all of that
Cloudsdale.
was before me.
Cloud.
I still have the original build where Ponydale was not Ponydale.
Sweet Apple Acres.
Not that I'm
or
spared
something like
not
that.
having to go back and find all the old quests with any kind of directional information
Fair game.
and figure out what the old Ponydale was.
New Ponydale.
Oh, we didn't have any of those quests in yet. This is early.
Wow. Wow, dang, that's cool.
Yes, but of course now the quests are starting to come through writing approvals, since we can do so much more than we
Looks
used
like
to be able
Opal.
to do.
Yay.
I love the models they use for the ponies.
I
Look
love
out, it's
these
Daybreaker.
new functionality.
Oh, looks really cool.
And just take a seat.
Crystal Empire.
Alright, so that was the trailer, alpha trailer from about 7 months ago, I believe it was.
How?
let's see here.
That was only from 7 months ago.
October 1st of 2015. Oh, wow, never mind. I take that back. It was a lot longer than that.
Wow. Dang. 2015.
But still, a very cool looking game. I can see a lot of the elements that you guys have worked on in there. Obviously, Mystic Morning and your team working on the dialogue boxes we saw there. And I wanted to say, Savannah, the pets system, is that part of your purview?
I'm probably gonna end up getting a pet. I don't know which one.
Yeah, so the pets, primarily under animal care, which is an Earth Pony talent mark in our game. So,
Yeah.
yeah, pets are actually one of our very unique talent marks. We always wanted to have some kind of follower, that kind of a role where you have another entity that kind of helps you out. And, working with pets, like, from the original content just seemed to be a really good move. And I'd say one of the most important things we wanted to do was, from the start, create a 2-tier system. So, like, everybody can have a pet because that's just fun and everybody likes to have pets.
Every pony.
But if you pick your talent mark as animal care, your pets are going to be a little bit smarter and a little bit better in a couple situations. Some combat, and then also we'd like to also have like a carry-based system where you can, kind of use your pet as a beast of burden.
Fantastic.
Pokemon.
But yeah, so pets are pretty unique. They're also quite a challenge to make programmatically. But we've had most of that in for a while now. If you've been to any of our past events, we kind of had the core system in, and now we're kind of moving on to more details around. Let me see. Primarily around expanding abilities and AI. So they're, like the pet dog or the pet bunny is a little bit smarter at following you.
Nice.
Also a little bit smarter at using abilities, kind of the abilities you want them to use.
So
Nice.
like you're saying that if I was say in combat and just for example my pet had a healing ability or a blocking ability, they would use that automatically, or I'd have to command them to do that.
So how it actually is designed is, you can tell your pet to do. So pets, by default, are going to have around 3 attacks that have their own upgrades and stuff like that. And each one of those attacks not only caters to sometimes like a classic role, like the pet can heal itself, the pet can use a ranged attack, the pet can use a melee attack, the pet can use a slow kind of a crowd control attack. So, and the functionality is going to be that you can choose which of those 3 attacks the pet uses. So, essentially, if you only want your pet to be that pet that runs in and uses melee to kind of get up in an enemy mob's face, you can set it so it'll only use its melee attack over and over again. Or you can set it to, say, use melee and ranged, at which point the pet will, kind of based on random number generator, will mix those 2 attacks. And the idea is that not only will this let you toggle which attacks you want the pet to use, because that toggle system is in its own interface, you can do it on the fly. So like at the beginning of an encounter, you could have only ranged attack toggled on, but once the mobs are kind of up in your face, maybe you switch over to, your pet only doing melee attacks.
All right, throw them in front of you like a meat shield.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but combined with our also more intelligent movement system, like telling your pet to go to location or stay somewhere, you could also just have your pet, go off in the distance and just play that classic range support for your team. They're not going to do, amazing damage because obviously they're not a player, but having that constant sort of range pelting from a distance might be a part of your play style versus, your pet just running in and using more close combat stuff.
Fair enough. And let me see here. I wanted to ask you one last thing about that.
Cool.
You know what? No, you answered it actually. You answered my question, so that works.
Sweet.
Mystic. Let's.
Hello.
I thought I saw a writing question for you somewhere up here in the chat. Oh yeah, this might follow under yours since it is story based, or at least in that area. Will all the pony races be included in the game at some point? Like, are you going to be writing in like Alicorn's Earth, etc., etc.?
We will not be having alicorns
Yay!
at this stage.
Yeah, and I'm
again,
doubting
this
it'll ever be
is
playable, right?
this is our own Equestria.
Right.
For both legal reasons and because we have a writing team and we don't just want to regurgitate someone else's work. And that probably goes for all the teams, as a matter of fact.
Hear that, every pony? Anyone who wants to try to make Princess Twilight, well, good luck.
At this stage, we have the 3 core races: Earth Pony, Unicorn, and Pegasus. There have been talks, but I can make absolutely no promises on what will happen in regards to playable races.
Right.
What I can say is that we have other original or inspired races in the game that have their own little cultures, their own lore, sometimes even their own history. A lot of this won't be, accessible in the primary game because a lot of people won't be interested in that. But if you are, we have the books. We'll have like bestiaries and that sort of thing. If you are curious about that, and some of it'll come through in dialogue. Hopefully, you'll be able to speak to some of our mobs as if they were NPCs,
Okay, so they'll have some
such
dialogue
as
options.
the manticores and the dryads. Oh, and the
Mm.
diamond dogs, which
That's awesome.
we know that that one is not terribly original.
No.
The dryads, however, are a creation of the Legends of Equestria team.
Okay. Okay.
So there will be a large, broad, interactable world that's more than just the three pony races. But you'll only be able to play for now as the three pony races.
Okay, so that answers your question there about the pony races. Fantastic.
But I played it before, and you can make a unicorn, and you can make a Pegasus, and but I think what she's saying is you can't have like all the sort of skills of those races. So like if you're Earth pony, you're not gonna have like strength skills. With the Pegasus, you're not gonna have like speed skills. I guess maybe I don't know, but I know that with unicorns you will have magic. I played it before. Don't worry, every pony. If you're thinking you're not gonna get magic with unicorns, you will. Okay, you can use magic. I've played it before. You just can't do like a bunch of different spells probably, but
You'll have your mud ponies, your pigeon horses, and your boneheads to play with. Perry, you haven't heard from you in a little bit here. I know you were talking about being a moderator and having to, when the game is up and running, obviously, keep order and law and justice going there, and forums as well. I would say, what would you say that your biggest concern is, like, or issue you've had when you were moderating the open betas?
There's really, I don't get too concerned during that.
Or biggest
a lot of my
problem you faced, I should say.
Well, you can only ban the same variation of the name so many times.
Yeah, you don't really need to elaborate on that one. I can understand.
It's there's only so many. A lot of it is it's proactive and reactive and moderation. We're proactive. We're checking things. Every user account that's created, we have someone sitting on the forum staring at new users.
Yeah.
So every time that comes across, every time you log in, it says your character name and your forum name, so we can catch you that way. It says, and then anytime you type, we can see every chat. We can see Whisper, we can see Party, we can see Guild or Herd, we can see local, global, every single kind of chat that we have available, the moderation team sees.
Yes, so that's fair warning to all of you. Just like on Amino, even in private chats, you cannot get away with breaking the rules.
Yeah, so we figure well, we figure it out, and all of my mods are seasoned. I only have 2 new mods right now, and even then, I classify them as they are not full mod status until 3 months. You have to work for me for 3 months before I even think of bringing you on full, and then even after that, it's another 3 months to be 150%. Like, I trust you to go off and do your own thing. So it's 6 months. A lot of my mods have been with me for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years. All of them have, except for the newest 2, have at least 2 or 3 open server events under their belt. all of them have the current closed beta access or closed release access we have. So it's the mod team is very, very, very watching, and we have fun with it. Occasionally we'll hold mini events like, hey, we're gonna be, here. We're gonna be come find me. We'll play the game of I'm hiding somewhere.
Okay, so this video is really long, every pony, but I will actually send it to you guys. But it seems like they're really hyping up this game, and for good reasons too. And I'm hyped for it, and it's only 12 days away till it comes out, the final release. But I will actually link this in the description, so it's copied, and my video is up if you guys. Well, it'll already be up when this is up, but it's already up for you guys to see. So I'm copying this link now so you can see. So they did an interview with 2 Credits, a gaming news and review website. Okay, so yeah, you can read that. It's everything they're planning for the future of the game. So, interview with the developers of Legends of Equestria. I'll actually read this to you guys. Legends of Equestria is an upcoming fan-made MMORPG based on the My Little Pony franchise. It will allow players to become a cult or filly, I'll be a cult, from one of the 3 races, explore an open world, earn one of the 6 talent marks, aka cutie marks, but apparently there's only 6, which is kind of a bummer. Wish there was more. Fight their way through dungeons, and more. The open access release was originally scheduled to go live on August 19th, but was delayed to September 10th due to a cyber attack that occurred on July 5th. Oh, August 19th is when it was supposed to be out? No. I recently had a chance to ask the development team several questions. We discussed the challenges of creating a fan-made game based on an established universe, some of the content that will be included in the open access release, what the first story arc will be about, and more. Due to the team's organizational structure, several teams leads provided answers. They are as follows. Writing team lead Mystic Morning, okay. Implementation team lead Rattletrap, PR team lead Galapagos, moderation team lead Perry. What inspired you to create a My Little Pony MMORPG rather than a fan game in another genre? We all first came together as fans of My Little Pony, and the project started because those first team members wanted to replicate what the community around the show had done in the online space, but in a game world. To use that passion for the show and community as an inspiration for an MMO experience. There's definitely other genres and things we're passionate about, and Legends of Equestria is by no means the end of our team's journey. But it's this one that really brought us together and kept us going for 5 years of development. It's the vision that we're committed to. Have any particular difficulties arisen due to the volunteer nature of the development team? It's sometimes difficult to get the kind of talent we're looking for. We're a volunteer project, which means we can't offer payment for the work people do. That means attracting people to join us out of passion for the idea isn't always guaranteed. There's also the occasional drop-off on commitment, since everyone's working the game around their own busy work, education, and social lives. But we've always kept that in mind, and managed to progress despite these difficulties, and there are so many gifted and generous people within this fandom that we've always been able to push forward. My Little Pony is a franchise with fans of all ages, true, and fans that take it quite seriously at that. With that in mind, what sort of lengths have you had to go in order to ensure that it remains an all-ages game? We have created a pretty comprehensive world filter to help regulate in-game discussion, and on top of that, we have a large, trained, and committed moderation team that enforces very clear and communicated rules, and we don't give a whole lot of freeway with them. We also, of course, scrutinize our own team's work to make sure it adheres to our own rules for acceptability. Because of the standards we've set, we've garnered a very protective audience and community who understand the rules and are, by and large, nearly as interested in seeing them followed as we are. From the start, we knew that this project wouldn't just be for fans of the show, that it could be something parents play with their children, and so we built everything around that accordingly. Have you found it difficult to implement ideas that you've had within the confines of the, the franchise's canon? We've certainly drawn inspiration from the franchise, but because we obviously don't want to infringe on anyone's copyrighted expression or trademarked properties, we operated outside of it a lot. It's sometimes a challenge to balance that against meeting the expectations of the fandom and not straying too far from our original vision. But it's important to us that the project is our own, not just a clone of someone else's idea, so it's worth the effort. Have you gone outside the franchise's canon in order to implement any ideas that you've had? In a lot of ways, yes. We've created the entire new world backstory with thousands of years worth of historical events, a pretty extensive cast of characters to befriend, locations to explore, dungeons to conquer, and species to interact with, and a completely original and engaging storyline to drive players forward throughout the game. Okay. What will the game's first story arc be about? Players will start off as fools, learning their own talents, what they want to do in the world, cutie marks. And as they grow as a cast of main characters, or as they grow, a cast of main characters will grow alongside them. The first story arc even follows that as a group they grow together, the problems they encounter, and the changes they want to bring to the world. We don't want to give too much away just yet, and have been keeping a lot of the story under wraps for the time being. We really hope that players will find the final product to be a very personal experience, something that we feel is sometimes overlooked in MMOs. Will later story arcs continue the plot of the first story arc, or will they be their own stories altogether? There's a central thread running through the background of at least several of the early story arcs, which all funnel together into the story's conclusion. Possible future arcs will continue the atmosphere and theme, and despite being new stories will continue the legacy and themes that made Equestria a world where players can feel comfortable and instrumental. Each arc will be comprised of a series of individual adventures, but a lot of things that happen on the way will really come into focus as the story goes on. And when put together, they'll hopefully make for a strong and continuous narrative. Will there be any differences in the story, gameplay, etc. for those who remain fools as opposed to moving into adulthood? Rattletrap says, players who choose to remain as fools won't be able to progress as far as those who grow up. It's a bit similar to choosing not to level up in MMOs. There will be a basic full storyline that complements the main storyline, but is not required to complete it. And there are full-only quests as well. Certain quests, areas, items, and events might be unavailable to them, or just too hard to complete without the adult tier abilities and progression only available to grown-up characters. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grow up. Other than cosmetic differences, are there any significant differences between the three races? Each race has access to specific abilities. Pegasi can fly. Unicorns can teleport, which is a lot easier for me, honestly. Earth ponies have a really fast sprint. Oh, okay. They also have, like a normal horse, they also have a different sets of talent marks that are only available to each race. In addition to the shared talent mark options, so that each race feels unique and will feel a lot different to play as. There are also certain quests, particularly at the start of the game, that are specific to the player's chosen race. Players will be able to create multiple ponies per account, though, if they want to experience all of it. Okay. Well, I'll probably do that, maybe. I don't know. Most of the 6 branches of expertise are fairly self-explanatory, but what role will those who specialize in animal care or partying play? Choosing animal care as a talent will allow the player to work with an animal pet to implement extra abilities for any pony who wants to play as Fluttershy, and provide boosts to some existing ones. Oh, and partying, Pinkie Pie. Beyond what a normal pet owner would be able to do partying talents for anyone who wants to play as Pinkie Pie, give access to a specific subclass of attacks, buffs, and soothes around the theme of partying. So yeah, again, anyone who wants to play as Pinkie Pie or Cheese Sandwich, get that talent. Okay, how many dungeons will be included in the initial open access release? We intend to have 2 large dungeons for players to experience in the open access release. The foreboding, gnarled mess of the Bramblewoods, and the mysterious ruins of ancient Athamanes. Each of these dungeons will have their own unique story to them, with quests to help players experience everything they have to offer. These dungeons will be uniquely scalable, meaning that groups of players of different sizes will still be able to experience a challenge without it being too easy or too overwhelming. We're working hard on additional dungeons and challenges, but we can't guarantee that these will be in a presentable state for the open access release. We do, however, intend to have them implemented in an update in the near future. Okay. What do you consider to be Legends of Equestria's endgame? Ooh. We intend to keep developing the game as long as there is a developer passion and audience interest. Certainly, we want to follow through on the 3-arc story we have planned out so far, and the culmination of that story could be considered an endgame. But there's a lot more room for growth than what we have. In terms of gameplay, players can certainly progress up to level 50. Wow. We want our dungeons and events to be scalable, so that players will always have a challenge to take on, and we're committed to adding more, so that there will hopefully be something around the corner to add more to the experience. How often do you expect to release new content updates following the release of Open Access? It's pretty hard to gauge how long anything will take us, given the nature of the project. Predicting how much time each member will be able to volunteer outside of their normal work, college, personal lives is pretty difficult given how much that can fluctuate. Bug fix updates will be rolled out pretty much whenever we manage to squash one, and we're aiming to have content updates coming out every 1 or 2 months, to make sure there's always something new on the horizon to look forward to. We can't say for sure that we'll be able to hit the target every time though, only that we're committed to seeing it through. Already in progress, we have new zones, dungeons, mobs, story, bosses, pretty much everything really, and we want to make sure everybody gets to experience them with us. We've dedicated 5 years to developing Legends of Equestria, and we don't see the passion that drove us all that time stopping anytime soon. So basically, every pony, the open access release is going to be, it's not going to be the final release, but it's going to be the final release that will not be temporary. So this release, every pony, is going to be it's not going to be temporary like the other access releases. Oh, I didn't even read this one. Okay, our new open access release, September 10th. Okay. Yeah. Okay, July 4th. Okay, all the details. Okay. Okay. So, starting September 10th. Okay. This is the original announcement. Okay. Okay. Well, alright. Open access release date announcement. Okay. So, okay, so it's coming out September 10th. But this is going to be, okay, our limited access, really granting full and permanent game access. Okay. Okay. Open it. What does that mean? Well, put simply, it means that the game will be fully available for everyone to play permanently. The game launcher will be made available to download. The servers will be online, and the doors will be wide open to let every pony in. An important thing to note, though, is that this will not be the end of the development. Okay, so there's still going to development updates, but this will be permanent, so you can download the game, and the servers will be open forever. So they will never close this time. So I am actually going to make my account right here for you all to see, and you won't see my password. Don't worry. but I think that means that the forums are back up. So I'm going to make an account, and this will be the account that I will use for Legend of Equestria. And if any of you want to add me on here, at least 13 years old, yeah, I guess. Okay, so my username, and I'm letting you guys all see this only because if any of you want to add me here on Legend of Equestria, okay? So my username is going to be, I gotta think about this. Hold on, every pony, I gotta think about what I'm gonna call my username. Let's just, I'm gonna call it Secret Agent Friendship Stallion. Oh, well that didn't fit. Okay, sorry. Okay, that won't fit. Secret Agent Stallion. 7. No. Secret Agent Stallion, and then my birthday, which is 1/28. So that is will be my username, every pony. My email address, that I can't let you see, so hold on. I gotta pause this. Well, okay, so hold on. Well, I think I should just end the video off here. My username will, and by the time this video is up, my account will be up, okay? So my username will be Secret Agent Stallion 128, okay? I just don't know how to pause the video when you're on Mirrorless Action, but I've been recording for like over 40 minutes. So I'm going to end the video off here, and by the time this video is up, my account on Legends of Equestria forums will be up, so if you want to add me on there, and you can add me so we can be friends on Legends of Equestria when it's out on September 12th, no, September 10th. You want to add me, then that will be my username. Secret Agent Stallion 128, you can see it. Well, I guess that's it, everybody. See ya.